Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV News at Noon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dissolve on cam. Q. Raise lower thirds.
Thank you for joining NTTV News at Noon. I'm Sydney.
Get rid of him. Ready 3. Take. Roll. Q.
Lawmakers might have a solution to avoid a partial government shutdown.
Ready VT2.
It's not the forced spending bills negotiators are crafting. Instead, it's another stopgap measure, as Amy Kiley reports.
All right, take. Roll.
It's pretty safe to say we all agree we need to avoid a government shutdown.
Take. Q.
Democratic
Push.
presidential candidate Marianne Williamson
Awesome.
her campaign. However, it's very unlikely she will have much luck
All right,
in the
ready.
primary or election.
3.
Williamson currently sits at 3% of the vote count in the Michigan primaries and has won no delegates in any state.
Take. Q.
With early voting in full swing,
Ready,
there might be
VT1.
ballot here at Denton. This past weekend,
Star White.
NTTV's Avery
Wait for the Star
Collins
White.
interviewed all 3 Denton mayoral candidates for our series called Making the Mayors. These exclusive interviews give an insight into each of these candidates' stories and why they are running for the office. Incumbent Mayor Gerard Hudspeth kicks off our series.
Fancy Star White. Roll.
My first question for you is, you have been the leader of over 100,000.
Take. Q.
You know, Cindy, earlier this week, we experienced weather high into the 90s, but now we're almost down to freezing.
Oh, I've definitely noticed. I had to wear my coat into the studio this morning. I'm sure
Double
our
box.
weather anchor Erica Mbagu has more on the drop in temperatures. Erica?
Q.
Yes, just
Raise lower
last
thirds.
week I was thinking of throwing a pool party, but it seems like we're about to play one. Looking at the current
Get rid of it.
conditions, we're
Ready,
experiencing
CG3.
a 38 degrees temperature.
Dissolve
and
into
we're
it.
experiencing wind coming from the north at 21 miles per hour. For tonight's conditions, we are experiencing a bit of clear weather. We're experiencing a weather at 42 degrees, and we are experiencing wind from the northeast at 5 miles per hour. For
Dissolve
tomorrow's
back on cam.
conditions, We are it does get a little
Ready
bit
2.
kind of harder, but we are experiencing wind at the same time. 48 degree temperature, and my name is Erica, and I'll be back with you for the full weather report. Back to you at the desk.
News White. Q.
Thanks, Erica. While the weather
Ready,
down here
VT4.
is fairly mild, we can't say the same for up north.
Rotate.
A massive storm swept through Illinois last night, tearing off roofs, knocking down trees, and
Great job,
wrecking
Kim,
power
too.
lines.
Baumstein says to ask yourself what you say to a friend. She says a lot of times it's easier for us to be kind and compassionate and patient to others rather than to ourselves.
Take.
If you're
Q.
a fan of Lot
Push.
then your favorite day of the year has finally arrived. Today is National Pancake Day. To celebrate, IHOP is offering a free split stack of buttermilk pancakes a day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also, Eggo unveiled a pancake-tiled house that residents can stay at. This pancake house is located at the pancake capital of the South, Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Take.
And if
Q.
you're excited about
Push.
National Pancake Day, you better get
I am
ready.
so freaking
Tomorrow
proud of
is
you
National
guys.
Pancake Day.
3, 2, 1. Roll VT1. I'll tell you when to Q.
Stay by.
Q. Dissolve on cam.
This is the scene outside the library mall
Ready,
just minutes
VT2.
ago where university students have gathered to protest. We are outside the Senate chamber where UNT Hillel is hosting a Q&A with the Israeli Defense Force. According to the UNT Hillel Instagram, this event will be held virtually as students can ask questions to the Israeli
lower
observers
thirds.
over Zoom. All tickets have been sold out, and a lot of security is present with at least 7 officers and a metal detector in the entrance.
Give it up.
Pro-Palestinian protesters have been frequently interrupting the event, describing the human costs of the war in Gaza.
With tonight's forecast being around 70, cooling down a little bit. It's going to be cloudy for the rest of the day, unfortunately. But hopefully, we can get a little bit of sun coming back into our forecast. But look at that. The sun's right here. Tomorrow's forecast. We're going to get a little bit of sun. And there it goes. We're going to get about 84 degrees. Feeling like a bit like 90 with some mild winds at around 12 miles per hour. But overall, kind of, the sun coming back out for the rest of the day tomorrow.
News White. Q.
All right, you're off cam.
Well, it's been confirmed.
All right, ready with the green screen. Weather.
But luckily, Marshall Farmer is bringing in.
Weather bump?
Weather bump. Wait, VT1, yeah.
Marshall, what do you have for us?
Rotate.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stay on the phone.
All right.
Yeah.
Now green screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dissolve on cam.
Well, it's going to
Q.
be cloudy today. The sun might come out later this week. That's the hope for the weather this week here. Looks like the weather right now. Before the sun
I like how he's right on the sun.
away on Friday.
All right, take back on cam. Q.
You know, Cindy, our live shot anchor Jason Ramirez has been doing an excellent
All right.
job.
Stand
by.
Stand by.
Double box.
Protest. at the unity right now.
And props to JC. I've seen quite the crowd of protesters and police officers. Let's go ahead and go over there to see what's happening. JC?
All right, take in.
As we see here, protesters have been chanting since 10:30 a.m. in support of Palestine and the removal of the IDF soldiers on campus. Inside, interruptions of the meeting occurred.
Yes.
And some
I like that. I like this.
Awesome. This is all I have regarding the protest. Now, back to the desk.
All right, Newswipe. Q.
Thanks.
Ready,
JC.
3.
Well, Sydney.
Sports, but that's all for me, so I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Newswipe. Q.
Thanks, Drew. Speaking of sports, Caitlin Clark was taken with the #1 overall pick in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. Clark led the Iowa Hawkeyes to the NCAA basketball championship game 2 years in a row, and she expects to draw many eyes on the WNBA. Reports state that she will be making worth
sorry, my bad.
$338,000 over the course of her career.
My bad.
Best of luck to Caitlin Clark and all of the other amazing women athletes in the NBA.
Thanks for watching NCTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.
Dissolve the 4. 4, stay right here a little bit.
And then
Hey, yeah, you can start moving now. Start moving now.
Are we dissolving our Conrad say? Yeah, are we dissolving?
And then dissolve the camera XA. And we're gonna stay here for a little while. Now dissolve to black, start dissolving. And there we have it.
NTTV's Brian Clark and Sydney Johnson are at Chilton Hall Studio. So guys, what have you all been seeing and hearing tonight?
Thanks, Mauricio. It has been a very lively night here on social media. And political polarization has never been a bigger issue than now. We see it online with our friends and with our family. Polarization is not something that we can avoid anymore. Most of the UNT students we talk to think of polarization as counterproductive and destabilizing. One commenting that it is being so far out of the overturned window that it feels mainstream, and it feels like the mainstream has been threatened. Voters aren't just seeing other political parties as incorrect, they're seeing other parties as immoral. This means that a member of the political party aren't necessarily wanting to be with other voters just like them. They just want to avoid those they will argue with. Thankfully, this might change. As we saw earlier tonight, UNT students are like other young voters who are frustrated with the two-party system and are starting to side with the political candidate because of a few key issues. More and more, individuals wish that there were more parties to choose from, as they no longer fit in just one or the other.
One of those key issues voters are passionate about is the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Wind gusts across the states were strong, and it was blowing snow that made the situation such a problem.
So Brian, what about all that snow?
As much as I like to wear my winter clothes, the snow is not my favorite. Brian, what about you?
Well, ladies, I have to agree with you. My ideal weather is one with warm winds and sunny skies and a beach. Sadly, I can't promise any of that for us, well, at least in the short term. Now let's get into our first look weather. Today, it is going to be 76 degrees. That's the current temperature right now, and it feels that way too. Winds are going to be coming at you from the south and southwest at 11 miles per hour, and conditions are partly cloudy. As we look at tonight's weather, more or less the same temperature-wise, 76, and it's going to feel that way as well. There's an increase of wind speeds by about 2 miles per hour. It's going to be at 13 miles per hour, and the conditions are cloudy. As we take a look at tomorrow, the temperature is going to be taking a chill pill, as temperatures are going to be 52, and it's going to feel colder than that at 48, with wind speeds coming at you from the northeast at 9 miles per hour, and conditions are going to be cloudy. A 24-degree drop in 24 hours. That's Texas weather in a nutshell. That's all I have for the first look. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Today has been nice, but I'm not gonna lie, the first part of this week was rough.
Yes, Avery, it seems like that cold front came out of nowhere, and I know now that I need to be paying a little bit closer attention to our weather anchor, Brian Clark. Let's go ahead and toss it over to him to see if we have another cold front waiting for us this week. Brian?
Yeah, it seems like this weather is pretty wishy-washy, but this weather is also funkier than disco. You know why? Because it's in the 70s. Just look around you. McKinney, Sherman, Gainesville, Sulphur Springs, Paris. Look over there to Bowie, to Graham, Decatur. I feel like Oprah Winfrey here. You get a 70. 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 It's 70s all across North Texas. But
not just across North Texas, all across the state as well. Just look at this right here. 75 in Austin, 73 in Houston, 71 in Shreveport. Even in Louisiana, they got 70s. Come on now. Oh, Oklahoma too, 73 in Oklahoma City, 75 here in Denton. And if you look west, guess what? 70. As we look at our 7-day forecast, now you see each and every single day up to Sunday is in the 70s, except for Friday, just missed the mark at 69 degrees. Still very nice weather indeed. 79, 74, 69 are the first 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday, we have very sunny conditions, 73 degrees, 52 as the low. Sunday, 78, 57 as the low, and Monday and Tuesday are cloudy, but warmer days ahead as they are actually in the 80s. That's all I have for weather. Now, back to you at the desk.